The Marvel Cinematic Universe may have already explained the birth of its greatest future villain, and most people missed it. Dr. Doom is traditionally framed as a tyrant, a megalomaniac, a genius twisted by ego and obsession. But when viewed through the lens of MCU time travel rules, abandoned comic canon, and one seemingly innocent decision at the end of Avengers Endgame, a far more unsettling possibility emerges. Doom is not the result of corruption, rage, or moral failure. He is the consequence of love chosen at the wrong moment. According to this theory, Dr. Doom exists because Captain America chose to stay in the past with Peggy Carter. Not out of malice, not out of intention, but because choices echo across timelines. And sometimes, the universe answers absence with balance. In Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark travels back to 1970 and meets his father, Howard Stark, at Camp Lehigh. On the surface, the scene is played as emotional resolution. Tony finally sees his father not as a cold, distant genius, but as a flawed man overwhelmed by the idea of becoming a parent. Howard talks about fear, responsibility, and loving a child he hasn't even met yet. Tony listens, clearly moved, finally gaining the closure he never had. But there is something strange about the scene that goes beyond sentimentality. Howard is oddly vague. He speaks about fatherhood in broad, almost abstract terms, never grounding his words in specifics. There is no mention of a birth date, no excitement over a name, no concrete certainty, only anxiety and hope. Tony's reaction, meanwhile, feels deeper than relief. He doesn't just look emotional. He looks shaken, as if something fundamental has been stirred loose. The official interpretation is simple. Tony realizes his father loved him but couldn't express it. End of story. But the theory suggests something more uncomfortable. Tony isn't just processing love. He's subconsciously sensing that his origin story might not be as straightforward as he's always believed. The scene introduces ambiguity where none previously existed. And Marvel, especially in the later phases of the MCU, does not introduce ambiguity by accident. In 2012's Iron Man, The Secret Origin of Tony Stark, Marvel revealed a massive retcon. Tony Stark was adopted. His biological parents were brilliant scientists. They were murdered. Howard Stark adopted Tony and raised him as his own. The backlash was intense. Fans rejected the idea, and Marvel later softened the implications without fully undoing them. But crucially, the reveal was never erased from canon. It exists, dormant, uncomfortable, and ready to be repurposed. What matters most is not the adoption itself, but the thematic framing of the story. Tony's biological parents are defined by secrecy, danger, and scientific brilliance. Their deaths are not random. They are tied to power, knowledge, and the kind of forces that circle figures like Victor Von Doom. Tony was never revealed to be Doom in the comics, but Marvel deliberately placed their origins in parallel conceptual space. Two geniuses, two lost childhoods, two men shaped by what was taken from them. This matters because the MCU has a long history of resurrecting discarded or unpopular comic ideas once the audience is emotionally prepared for them. Adoption is not MCU canon yet, but it remains firmly in Marvel's toolbox. The linchpin of the entire theory lies in one line of dialogue delivered by Bruce Banner in Endgame. When you go to the past, you don't change your future. You create a new timeline. This rule is not vague. It is explicit. Every trip into the past creates a branch, a separate reality shaped by altered circumstances. When Steve Rogers returns the Infinity Stones and chooses to stay with Peggy Carter, he does not preserve the sacred timeline. He fractures it. Marvel never fully explores the consequences of that decision, but the rules tell us they must exist. That unexplored branch is where Dr. Doom is born. This is not a catastrophic divergence. There is no invasion, no TVA alarm, no visible collapse of reality. Cap staying behind causes something far more dangerous, subtle shifts in probability. A meeting happens later than it should. A warning is never delivered. A SHIELD decision is made with slightly different information. HYDRA's influence nudges a single outcome. Howard Stark ends up in the wrong place at the wrong time, or perhaps simply never in the right place at all. There is no villain speech, no dramatic turning point, just one adoption that never happens. In this branch timeline, Tony Stark's biological parents still die, preserving the core tragedy established in comic canon. Genius is still born into loss, but Howard Stark never adopts him. Whether due to altered priorities caused by Steve Rogers' presence, a shifted SHIELD operation, or a missed connection that would have sealed the adoption, Tony is never brought into the Stark family. There is no Stark name, no inherited wealth, no insulation from consequence, no pipeline into elite education or protected genius. What remains unchanged is the most dangerous constant of all, the mind. This is the true point of divergence, not history, but psychology. The Tony Stark of the Prime MCU timeline grows up privileged, flawed, and loved in imperfect ways. He has resources, safety, and room to fail. His arrogance is tempered by guilt, and his guilt ultimately forges Iron Man, a hero defined by responsibility. This Tony grows up unseen. He is brilliant but unsupported, curious but constrained. Every failure costs more. Every success is self-earned. He learns early that systems do not protect intelligence, they exploit it. That trust is weakness. That power is the only reliable form of safety. This mindset is not accidental. It is Dr. Doom. Latveria is not just a setting, it is a crucible, a politically unstable region shaped by war, corruption, and authoritarian control. A place where brilliance without power is crushed, and where survival requires domination of systems rather than reform of them. This Tony does not grow up American. He does not benefit from institutional privilege. MIT is not an option. Silicon Valley never notices him. Instead, he masters different tools. Political leverage, scientific authoritarianism, fear as structure. Where Iron Man builds suits to protect people, Doom builds states to control them. Iron Man is not just a man in armor. He is legacy made manifest. Stark Industries, military contracts, hidden research, generational wealth. Without Howard Stark, there is no arc reactor, no weapons division, no opportunity for Tony to channel guilt into heroism. Dr. Doom does not need legacy. He needs obsession, trauma, intelligence, and absolute control. Same brain, different fuel. This is not Tony Stark turns evil. That would be lazy. This is something far more disturbing. The audience witnessing who Tony Stark would have been if he had never been loved. The same face, the same voice, the same brilliance, but stripped of humor, forgiveness, guilt, and softness. Robert Downey Jr. as Doom would not be stunt casting. It would be narrative symmetry. A mirror held up to the MCU's greatest hero, showing the monster that absence can create. The most brutal part of this theory is that Captain America never knows. He chooses love. He saves Peggy. He lives a full, peaceful life. But somewhere, because of that choice, Tony Stark never becomes Iron Man. The universe does not lose balance, it replaces it. Cap does not create Dr. Doom. He removes Iron Man, and the universe adjusts accordingly. Dr. Doom is not born from evil intent or moral failure. He is born from absence, from a world where brilliance goes unseen, where love arrives too late, and where protection never comes. In one timeline, Tony Stark is raised, supported, and given the space to fail, and he saves the universe. In another, he is left alone, and the universe still gets its genius. It just gets him in armor instead of a suit. Because the multiverse does not care about heroes. It only cares about balance. And when Iron Man is removed, something else must rise to take his place.